Guys, there has been some shocking news about the US visa portal, the portal that you guys use, the CGF Federal portal that you guys use to book the slots for yourself. That's the one that I'm talking about, guys. There has been some shocking news about it. Don Heflin, the Minister Counsel at the New Delhi Consulate, basically the US Embassy that is in India, right? For that embassy, the Minister Council has spoken this year, and last year also this guy spoke, and he released appointments, but this year it's looking a little bit of the opposite. Now, for some people, it's gonna be really good news. For some people, it's gonna be really bad news. I'm telling you that in advance, so please hold on. Listen to me if you're interested in the F-1, J-1, M-1, whether it comes to the B-1, B-2 visa types especially, and even for H-1Bs and H-4s. I think this is an important update, so you guys should know exactly what is going on over here, right? So the first update that I'm going to talk about, three updates over here. The first one right over here is that they have made some major changes to the portal, and what they have essentially done is that all the students who have been rejected from the spring to the summer term, basically in 2022 for spring or summer, if you were going over there, and this is for students, by the way, the point number one is for students. So if you were a student and you went for one of these interviews, for spring or for the summer term, and you got rejected, now according to Don Heflin, you're not a good student, you're not a genuine student, so you essentially have to face the wrath. What that means is that you won't be able to book a slot for yourself. Essentially what they have done is they've changed the portal as such that if you have been rejected in one of these terms, you should not be able to appear for the fall interviews. So just in case you were thinking, okay, I'll go in fall, I'll defer my term, there's been enough trouble for me already. Not only was I traumatized because I was rejected a US visa, but now when I shifted my education 6 months later and I want to go for the next term, for that I can't even get an interview slot. So that's what's going on. This is bad news for those guys who were rejected, right? But this is actually good news for those of you who are new students, who are new F1 visa, J1 or M1 visa students, who are basically looking forward to go for the interviews, essentially because there will be more slots for you guys actually. And that's really what they are trying to tackle, because they're saying that last year what happened was that not only were we getting the good students, or initially we were getting the good students, and then later on people started coming in for the second, third round of interviews. And basically what is going on over here is that this time they're not wanting that to happen. So essentially, you guys, if you got rejected for some reason, you shouldn't basically get to face the interviewer again. And that's the first big change that they have done. I do not think that it makes sense. A lot of times people get rejected because the interviewer is just not in a good mood. And the way this process works, there's really no explanation for the most part. But this is both good and bad news depending on who you are, what your situation is. Okay, let's talk about the second biggest change over here. And that is the parents, the B1, B2 people, or basically the people who are going in for business trips or for travel, for tourism. Those of you guys who are basically going for these sorts of visa types, there's some major update of news for you guys. And I'll actually read the exact words of Don Heflin over here. And the words are, while parents of Indian students going to the US to study who have a valid US visitor visas can accompany their children. So basically, if you already have a B1, B2 visa and you're a parent of the student, your student will get the F1 visa probably, and you can basically go ahead with him. Great, no problem at all if you have the B1, B2 already. But if you don't have the B1, B2, and that is those who have never had a visitor visa will not be able to travel. So essentially, if you were thinking of going with your student, with your kid, with your daughter to basically the US to basically set him down, or if you were going for maybe a convocation for your kids, etc., right? You guys should not be allowed to attend. That's apparently what's going on. And why is that? There's really no explanation for it. Essentially, if you don't have the visa, you should not be allowed to travel. If you have the visa, you should be allowed to travel. Now, this is a little bit difficult to actually prove for the most part, because we actually personally have seen B1, B2 slots open up recently. They opened up like 1.5 weeks ago, and we did book a couple of slots for June, for July also. So I'm quite certain that this one, even though the first one I know it's true for the most part, that's happening and we're able to see it. For the second one though, we are not really yet in a position to give you proof of that, because we have booked slots for that, and we have worked with B1, B2 people, and we're still working with them. So it's a little bit difficult for us to prove that. But that's what he said, and I'm just delivering the news over here. The point number 3, again, a big change over here, is that if you are looking for a new B1, B2 appointment, you've basically got to go for the first time, right? Not a Dropbox You're not going in for basically renewing the appointment or anything. You're going for the first time to the US and you want to go for travel, tourism, convocations to basically settle your kids down, something like that, right? That can be possible, but the appointments for that will be released in September of this year. Now, again, like I said, B1, B2 visas, I'm not quite sure if this is the truth or not because we just booked a couple of June and July ones about 1.5 weeks ago. So there's really a little bit of gray area over here, and I'll certainly be updating you if you're subscribed to the channel. So make sure to do that and make sure to follow me on Instagram. But just in case you actually want to connect with me and you would like my guidance, my number is going to be below in the description. We can actually help you. Most cases, you guys want to talk to me about your case and you want to onboard with us, you can take a look at the visa application help. I'll also include the link to this service in the description. Everything A to Z until your visa gets stamped. We cover every single step, not just the slot booking, by the way. And not only that, if you need me, if you need our help, we're more than happy to help you. You can actually take a look at our number. It should be in the description. You can WhatsApp us over there, or what you can do is you can actually take a look at this page. I'll include the link over here as well. All right, hopefully that should give you the perspective of what's changed and what's basically the major changes to the portal that have happened. Again, I'll be keeping you updated for future updates as well, so make sure that you are coming back for future videos, and I hope that this news was good for you. Goodbye and take care for now.